Hello and welcome. Now, I don't have any brown paper, but I do have a brown board. So, now I've had some difficulty in finding my Megafave number, but I do have about 3 different ones that I want to decide between. So we could have 694,267,173, or we could have 2,309,584,320, or we could have 639,883,987. Now, the reason why I've kind of been stuck between these numbers, well, okay, let me put it to you this way. This first number is the amount of seconds that I've lived in my entire lifetime. The last one is the amount of seconds that I will be expected to live. It's the global life expectancy. And now that's not the only reason why I chose these numbers. You see, I began to think, if the first second of your life is your entire lifetime, and the second is a half of your lifetime, and the third a third, and the fourth a quarter, and the fifth a fifth, well, we know that this is going to become what is called a harmonic series. This formula is a well-known mathematical formula, and it's also known that this series converges, so it doesn't go to a certain point. So, the question is, based on how old you are, how many lifetimes have you lived? Well, I can tell you first of all that this number, that's the amount of seconds your cat will have lived if it really did have 9 lives. And well, I would hope your cat lives longer than an hour and a quarter. So really, it's actually very likely that your cat has lived quite a lot more than 9 lives. But, joking aside, how many lifetimes have I lived? How many lifetimes am I expected to live? And what is this number here in the middle? Well, first of all, we can see that by multiplying the years by the days in a year and adding on the leap days, then multiplying that by the hours, the minutes, the seconds, we get the total amount of seconds that you've lived. Now, you may be wondering why I didn't choose just minutes or hours, but I figured since seconds was the SI unit, and since it seemed like a reasonable period of time to choose, I chose it. Maybe it's arbitrary, but it's besides the point. So, getting this amount, we get one of the numbers shown earlier, and we find that I am 20.926 lifetimes old. The global life expectancy is 22.137 lifetimes. And the oldest person ever lived 22.648 lifetimes. But what I now wonder is, at what point do your years pass out your lifetimes? Because think about it. After the first second of your life, you're not yet a year old, yet you've already lived a full lifetime. At some point, the amount of years you lived must pass out the lifetimes, because the oldest person ever was not 22. So how old are you when this happens? Well, with a bit of trial and error, we find that the answer is 20.8835 years old, or lifetimes old. At that point, they're the same. And that's what my favorite number is. This one here. At 20.88 years, you have 639,883,987 seconds.